Yes, it was recently posted in Timberline Review. Thank you, Timberline Review, if you're out there. Beautiful. Yeah. They're awesome. Great supporters. Send your work to them. They're amazing. They're so supportive. Okay, here we go. Yes. Chuck rings the doorbell, and I have my luggage all ready, set, go by the front door. But when I let him in, instead of reaching for my suitcase, Chuck kneels on the hard tile in the entryway and says, "Will you marry me?" And so I say, "All right." Chuck's mom Gladys is watching the whole thing from her car right out front. Engine idling, window rolled down, extra long cigarette burning between two straight fingers. After that, I yell goodbye to my dad, who says bye back but doesn't come out of the garage to say it. Then Chuck helps me squeeze my suitcase and backpack into the crammed trunk of his mom's car and slam the lid shut, and we're off. So now I'm engaged. I'm reserved, like a table at a restaurant. The ring is the kind of ring it's supposed to be, yellow gold, small white diamond, princess cut. For a moment, sunlight shines through the Honda's rear window and hits the tidy rock, refracting into a rainbow of color, and I feel a warm, smooth stone in my center and think, look at me. Gladys catches my eye in the rear view and smiles. She says, "Congratulations, honey." Her teeth are yellowed, and there are wrinkle lines around her puckered mouth as she drags off her first cigarette of the trip. Married, I think that's something to be. It's a long drive to Boston, and we are going by the north. The north! I roll down my window in the back seat to get some fresh air, the cool against my bare arms, freeway wind loud in my ear, whipping my long hair into a mess. I am 17, and it is summer, and I am free, and also Chuck's mother is driving, so not that free. I can smell the burn of paper and tobacco as Gladys brings the red hot ring of the car lighter to the cigarette pursed between her lips. Gladys smokes like it was just invented, brand new and full of possibility. When we drive into the heat of the day, she smokes with the windows rolled up and the air conditioner on high. She has a leather cigarette wallet with a metal snap, like a coin purse but longer. It is always around. Along with everything else, there are 2 cartons of Winston Light 100s in the trunk. When Chuck and I met at his friend's keg party, he told me he loved me first thing. I was in the beer line with my blue plastic cup, and I said, "Too bad I don't date men, only boys." And he said, "Don't worry, because I'm not that grown up." He had just been dumped by his first fiancée, and I was in my last year of high school. After dating for most of the school year, Chuck said we should take a road trip, and I said, yes, yes, yes. I'd always wanted to take a road trip, and picture the 2 of us on his bike, riding desolate roads through small towns and deserts. And Chuck said, "Perfect, it's settled. My mom's moving to Massachusetts, and she needs help driving her stuff out." So here we are. When we start to gain elevation on our way over the Sierra Nevadas, Gladys wants me to tell the story again. "What were you thinking?" she says. She probably doesn't want me to answer that honestly. My lightning fast Ferris wheel of thoughts was, "What are you doing?" "No, don't kneel. Oh God, please don't be proposing." "Okay, you're proposing. This is so awkward. I will do anything to get you back up on your feet so this moment can be over and we can go back quick to how things were before." Also, I was thinking about how Chuck has been engaged before. I tried to imagine the time before this one when he knelt down for another woman he was willing to marry. Within a year, Chuck found 2 of us, which demonstrated that Chuck had really good fortune, or far too broad criteria for a good job. Reno is the first stop on the way to Boston. We get a smoking room in a motor lodge shaped like an L, its name in neon lights. There are 2 double beds with impossibly ugly flowered polyester bedspreads. Chuck and I are in the bed by the door, and his mother is in the one by the bathroom. Staying in a room 2 doors down is a husky, stubble-headed fellow wearing a black leather jacket, despite the heat that says Hell's Angel Sacramento on the back. His sloped metal monster parked in the spot out front. Chuck's face releases a huge grin. "Cool," he says. "Aren't they kind of like a racist gang?" I say. "I meant the bike," Chuck says. Chuck's got an older model Kawasaki, 750 cc's. Back at home, when we are having a bad day, or when we are having a good day, or when I'm having a bad one, he takes us out. People stare. We ride down the canyon, over the hill, past the farms, out towards the sea, and by the time we get there, my hair is all whipped in little knots, and my cheeks are red, and I feel such We take showers in turn, a small, low tub with a metal nozzle that spits water out with such force that stings my naked skin. As soon as we're clean, we get back in the car, we head down 4th Street and cruise through downtown. Reno is a smudge of tallish buildings and neon signs, casinos, dry desert mountains all around. It's almost a tiny Vegas that feels unfinished, like someone took a lunch break in the middle of building it and never came back. Gladys takes us to a casino she had been to 20 years ago because she remembers liking a buffet. The place is all white tile floors and pineapple on ice. Its heat-loved islands of blocky gravy and knife-overdone roast on humid silver trays. I eat scalloped potatoes and a baked potato and 2 white rolls with lots of butter and chocolate pudding for dessert. I drink 4 refills of root beer. Gladys says, unpushed. She pulls a cigarette from her little coin purse and lights it with a clear plastic lighter she keeps tucked into the little purse's front pocket. She says, I'm gonna head in and play a few slots. She motions toward the main casino room, then drive back to the motel, smoke in, smoke out, you two okay to walk. As soon as his mom disappears into the dark mouth of the casino, Chuck asks to see my finger. I straighten and wiggle the 5 fingers on my left hand so he can see the sparkle jumped in the light. I've only been wearing the ring for 10 hours, but already he's checked on it 3 times. He says, I love seeing it on you. We set off from the buffet entrance through the main lobby and toward the slots. Chuck is legal, he's 23 and I am not. So I lean into him and smile, hide my face in my hair like I'm older and laughing at a funny joke, and I make certain that people passing can get a glimpse of the ring. It helps. A diamond can do that. Make a woman out of a girl. Chuck sits me down at a slot machine with 2 rolls of nickels, and then he heads to a blackjack table in the middle of the noisy, flashing, dim room. Around me are sounds of the singing machines, and the metal meeting plastic of coins into a bucket. I look around for Gladys. It'd be nice to sit with someone, but I don't see her. I wonder if this is what it is like to be married, alone and obligated all at once. Before I finish that first beer, I'm out of nickels and bored beyond belief. I slalom through the slots and game tables and find Chuck sitting next to an older fellow with a long face and gaunt cheeks. Both men rise deep into the set of 2 cards in their hands. I hover behind them and watch. Chuck has a red 7 on the green felt next to a good-sized pile of red and white and yellow chips. An empty shot glass on the felt next to a brown bottle of beer, sweating in the light. He wins the hand, and then I touch his shoulder. A few more hands, he says, I'm winning. I'll come get you. He hands me a yellow chip. Go get some more nickels. Be patient, keep busy. When he's ready, he'll come get me. And isn't this like every Bronte sisters book I've ever read? The younger woman waiting for the older man to rescue her, waiting to be saved for those girls, always waiting. The security guard that kicks me out is barely older than me. His uniform, dark pants, and a dark short-sleeved collared shirt is so new I can see the creases in the fabric where it was folded up to fit the packaging. After he asks for my ID and I say nothing, he doesn't say much. He doesn't need to. We both know why I'm getting food. The dark glass doors close behind us and we are out on the sidewalk in the warm, well-lit night of Reno, and when he takes his hand away from the small of my back, I register the absence of heat. He looks behind him and then looks at my face, and his shoulders relax a tiny bit. His black hair is cut too short for his round face, making him look like a small, serious boy. Thanks for making that so easy, he says. He looks down at the ground, bends onto a knee to tie his untied bootlace. Light sounds on the street, high heels on pavement, a woman's laugh, engine idling at the light, a car door slamming shut, and always the bright on-off flash of neon overhead. My boyfriend's inside, I say. Fiancé, I say. I can't let you back in there, he says. He switches legs and double mounts the other boot's laces. That's okay. Do you want to see the ring, I say. He stands up and looks at my hand, fingers wiggling to catch the light. We're driving across the country with his mom, I say. It's kind of weird, really. Yeah, I'd want to be alone with you if we were engaged, he says. He looks down at his boots again, checks the walkie-talkie on his belt. Thanks, I say. That's nice. A police car speeds by us, lights flashing but no siren. What kind of ring you bought me, I say. Another police car speeds past. His eyes follow the sound down the street. He clears his throat. Anyway, even if you're married, you can't be in there unless you're 21 and you're not right. Not married, just engaged, I say. Some people are engaged for a long time. It could be years before we do anything like that. The muscles in his face gather into a serious expression. Gotta get back, he says. He points at my hand. Good luck with all that. And then walks away from me back inside. I sit on the curb. The ground is still warm from the day's sun. Cars drive back and forth in the street. Headlights, taillights, exhaust. A man in cowboy boots stumbles along the sidewalk across the street, shirt untucked from his jeans. A friend walks next to him, his arm around the cowboy's back, holding him up, moving him forward. My thumb plays with the ring, slipping it back and forth along the skin of my finger with ease. I toy with it until it falls to the cement and sings a hollow clang. It lands on the sidewalk next to a smudge of gummy residue and a squashed red-lipped cigarette butt. It's a good feeling to know that someone is willing to marry you. I do not feel like waiting to be rescued tonight, so I head back up 4th Street to the motel. I never worry that I'll get lost. I am a master at finding my way somewhere I've been before, even if I've only been there once. I sit on the hood of Gladys's car across from the nook that houses the motel's vending machines. A dumping crash as new ice chips are made and dropped into the refrigerated belly with the other ice. The overloud canned laughter of a sitcom seeps out of the open motel office door. Chuck will find his way back to me soon. He'll figure out I left and head back to the motel, find me on the hood of the car and kiss me with his warm beer and whiskey breath, tell me about his winning or losing streak. I won't tell him about the security guard. That's just for me. He'll be so drunk he will forget to ask about the ring. We'll probably sneak quiet into the room where Gladys will be asleep with the TV on, and then Chuck and I will squabble about whether or not to have sex a few feet from the sleeping mother until I cave and agree and will have missionary position sex with the covers pulled up over our heads and I won't come. I never will with him. Here he is now. I wake up later thinking it is morning, but it is still night. The television is off, and the room is dark except for a ribbon of streetlight bright in my face through the crack in the curtains. My naked legs are tangled up with Chuck's. The air in the room is heavy with old cigarette smoke and the stale night breathing of 3 people, and I am thirsty, so thirsty, but I don't get up. My worry about Chuck isn't that there might be a better man out there for me. The world is filled with better and worse men. It's not that. It's that what if I decide after the fact that I don't want to be married to anyone at all? If I could propose, what I'd want to marry is that feeling I feel when Chuck and I are riding fast on his bike, winding our way up the forested incline, our bodies intuitively leaning left and right with the weight of the beautiful machinery underneath us, the 2-lane road all ours except for the passing of the occasional car headed in the opposite direction, and oh, how we feel sorry for them, those passengers. They do not know what they're missing. The warm air against my bare shoulders, the streams of sunlight sweeping through the heavy pines, the smell of dusty heat and warmed pavement, and the cool damp of the forest floor, my arms wrapped around Chuck, my smile so wide I have to tuck my face into his shoulder so I don't swallow air, my whole body, each cell, singing with the abandon of being part of every other single thing. Who needs a wedding when I've known a thing like that? I can't go back to sleep now. Nothing to do but wait. If I wait long enough, time will catch up. The streetlight shuts off. The sun hides behind the northern Nevada mountains before peeking over the steep ridge, and Gladys waits to light her first cigarette of the day. Chuck will wake up any minute now and ask to see the ring on my finger. He will look for it on the nightstand. He will want to know where it is. How can I tell him? How do I tell him? It never occurred to me that I could say no.